Hey guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name's Malcolm. Today we're talking to one of the TNA original that's still around the company, making headlines as he attacked Eric Young, and a lot of stuff came from that as well. It's Frankie Kazarian. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Life is good. I mean, like I'm talking to a TNA original. When I first got into watching TNA Impact Wrestling, you were one of the first names that I got to learn about and actually appreciate and grow as a wrestling fan. So it's definitely a good full circle moment for me. But how's your day going?
Very cool. Great, man. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California, out in the desert. Just relaxing, enjoying some time at home. So yeah, really good, man.
Definitely. I see that TNA Tag Team Championship behind you. Obviously, and obviously the X Division title too.
Yeah.
You won some championships in TNA, obviously. What's been your favorite title reign of yours so far?
I mean that's hard. They all mean something. They're all pretty special to me. Winning the X Division title for the first time was pretty huge. That was the first, major title that I ever won. And I was only 6 years into my career at that point, 7 years in, and that was being anointed as the guy, the X Division guy was very important for me, and it was a giant stepping stone, and really helped just bolster my career. So that one always is a special place in my heart. Winning the TNA Tag Team titles with Chris Daniels for the first time was also very special. Again, they all have a special place in my heart, but that first TNA X Division belt was, that's what we all, those of us who dream to be pro wrestlers, you dream of moments like that, of holding a title above your head, that you just won in front of a live audience and on pay-per-view is pretty cool.
Definitely. And like you talk about moments, and you've had so many moments in TNA Impact Wrestling. And like over the last 25 years, we've seen you come and go and come back to TNA. What's it been like coming back to the promotion and just seeing like how different it is maybe compared to the last time you were here?
It's been great. I chose to come back to TNA. I left where I was previously. I was gainfully employed and decided that I wanted to explore what else was out there. And I was really, really, I'd made some appearances for TNA before that, and I was really impressed by what they were doing and all the hard work that was going on behind the scenes and the incredible talent they have in the locker room. So, and I just figured that was such a fitting place for me to be because of my history with the company, but also because there's so many new and young, fresh talent that I have never been in the ring with, and I just saw that same hunger that we had in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s. So it was certainly a place that I wanted to explore getting back into, and we made it happen. And it's honest to God, last year was maybe the funnest year of my career, one of the most rewarding career years of my career. And with the rebrand and the momentum we have right now, I'm very much enjoying it, and I'm very, very happy that I made this decision.
Amazing. What's like the moment you're looking for on this run in TNA Impact Wrestling? Like, is it to become the world champion? Is it like a certain match that you're looking for? Is it a certain
Yeah.
crowd capacity or whatnot? Like, what's like the moment you're looking for during this time while you're part of TNA?
I mean, big picture, I want to be part of the guy that, brings this company to heights that I know it can go to. I'm not going to do that by myself. It takes an entirely very, very dedicated, passionate, talented crew of wrestlers and people behind the scenes. And I want to do that together. Personally, I do have goals. The one title that's eluded me has been the world title, the TNA world title. And I've made no bones about that, certainly this year, that is my goal. And to become TNA world champion, and I've worked very, very hard, almost 26 years. And I think that would be the culmination of a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. But on top of that, being the guy that brings TNA to new heights, I will also always wear that as a badge of honor too.
Definitely. I guess I kind of have to ask a big question, which you have explained on television as well, but maybe to see a different perspective. Why did you attack Eric Young?
But like I've said, the one flaw that I think that I've had in the past is I've not been selfish enough in this business. I've been very giving, and a lot of this business is very cutthroat, and I've seen guys take shortcuts and treat people poorly and make it, to the top. Not that I ever wanted to do that, because I have to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. However, though, I am going to, I made it clear I'm not going to wait for things to happen. I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and I'm going to control my fate and my destiny, and I'm not going to let that be in anyone else's hands. So, Eric Young was just a victim of circumstance. I still have nothing but respect for Eric Young, but he's an obstacle, and so is everybody in the locker room at this point. And that's how I'm viewing them because that's kind of how I have to view them at this point, at this stage of the game.
You put your hands on a TNA official. Do you feel like that certain official was an obstacle as well, or why
I
do you
feel
feel
that
like
that TNA official made a very, very huge error, a mistake that probably would have gone unpunished had I not done something. So what I think I'm doing is a service. We're in an era now where discipline is not handed out like it should. Management certainly wasn't going to put a beating on that guy. So I decided, again, I needed to take matters into my own hand. And, maybe my forearm ran into his mouth a few too many times. I don't know. But it was something that I'm certainly not ashamed of. I think I did the right thing. And I don't think that referee in particular will be making any more mistakes going forward if he continues to referee.
yeah, personally, I think I would stop refereeing after getting punched in the face. But I mean, that's just personally me. I mean, I would take 6 weeks off of PTO if I stubbed my toe. But
Yeah, well, yeah.
yeah,
You're a smart guy, obviously. Yeah.
yeah, of course, I did do my education. But let's talk about you being X Division champion. The current X Division champion is Mustafa Ali. What's your thoughts on him being like a guy that's held the X Division title so many times?
Again, he's a guy that I, well, obviously was familiar with, but didn't know on a personal level. And just met him when he came to TNA in New Orleans, and incredibly impressed with him as in terms of an in-ring talent. The match him and Chris Sabin had was incredible. Both those guys are phenomenally gifted talents, and he's a great person, great dude, very passionate. Kind of has that chip on his shoulder, and I get that because I've been there, and has a lot to prove. And I think went out there and first night in the company hit a home run, and that's I think opened a lot of people's eyes. Won a title his first night in the company. How many people can say that? So very impressive. I really like what I see, and he's a welcome addition into this locker room. And I'm very protective of this locker room because we do have so many talented people who, in addition to being gifted performers, are good human beings too. And he fits right in.
Definitely. Do you see yourself going after his championship as maybe like an opportunity to go back into that world championship, seeing you as an option C?
I mean, I've taken that route before. Late 2022 was Speedball Mike Bailey, and that is a thought. But I think my plan of action, not that I'm going to detail all my plans, but I think I'm going to take a different path this time. The X division is something that I won't say it's in my past because it's very much part of me. But the X division is thriving right now. The X division doesn't necessarily need Frankie Kazarian, and my train of thought is kind of taking a different path to get to that world title.
I would say everyone needs Frankie Kazarian in their life, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, that X division, that's gonna that's its own beast. It's gonna thrive, because the athletes that are competing for that title are very passionate. I was one of those guys for many years, but again, never say never. I'm never gonna turn down an opportunity to wrestle for any title.
Definitely. Do you see yourself going after Nic Nemeth? I know he's making headlines right now in the company. He's a big name, big guy that everyone's talking about. Do you see yourself going after him as maybe an opportunity to get back towards that world title like we were talking about?
Well, Nick's a guy that the second I found out he was going to be available, I put in a call to management and basically said we need him. A couple of us in the locker room did. He's a guy that I've known for a long time and I've admired from afar, and have an immense amount of respect for him. I think he's uniquely gifted and talented, and he's a guy that like me has kind of been put in that box as maybe being overlooked and underrated. And when you talk about the dream matches, he's definitely a guy that I've always wanted to mix it up with. So I'm very glad he's here. I'm very glad that I will probably have the opportunity to get in the ring with him. And I think we could do some incredible stuff. He's another just welcome addition into this locker room, and I think he fits right in. I think a lot of people he's another guy. He has a lot to prove. He's I don't even think he scratched the surface of what he can do. He's that talented. So definitely looking forward to getting in the ring with Nic Nemeth, and I'm looking forward to see what he does as a TNA wrestler.
You shared a great moment with your wife at Impact 1000. You announced that she was going to be going into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, now TNA Hall of Fame. What was like your thoughts as you're going through like that speech and you're announcing it, like knowing that that graphic's about to pop up and then the video package and whatnot?
I was just so thrilled for her. That whole day, the Impact 1000 was very special. And as I get, being a veteran and a guy that's been doing this a long time, I really try to cherish those moments, that entire day, because it is very special. Those moments aren't lost on me. And being able to, announce that she was going to go into the Hall of Fame with my son in the ring with us, and to see her reaction and to hear the crowd's reaction, uh, just it warmed my heart. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. It was just a great moment, and certainly one I'll cherish. And then watching her get put into the Hall of Fame was another beautiful night. And just again, part of the reason why last year was so special to me, being back in this company and just everything that went with it. It was a blessed year.
Your son has two parents that are professional wrestlers. Is
Poor
that
guy.
going to continue? And like his future, is wrestling maybe a possibility for him?
Not likely. Not likely. He's he enjoys going to the shows. He enjoys, he gets to get in the ring a little bit, mess around. But we don't. Wrestling's never really on at our house. He's certainly from the athletic standpoint. He's big into taekwondo.
Oh, nice.
So he's like, he's a little athlete, but his passions right now are taekwondo and baseball and dinosaurs and Ninja Turtles and Marvel movies. And I don't know. I don't know if the wrestling bug is gonna bite him like it bit me. But it doesn't look like it's in the cards. But I want him to be his own man. So whatever he ends up doing, I think he's gonna thrive at. So that's yet to be determined.
Amazing, amazing. As we start to kind of wrap this up, like what is like a day in a life for you when you're not like wrestling? Because like obviously like wrestlers have their in-ring characters and like themselves as human beings. So what's the difference between yourself on like a normal day versus professional wrestling day?
Well, I mean, it's I'm always handling some type of business. I'm always doing something. Like if obviously when I'm wrestling, I'm traveling all the time. If on a regular day, I always start my day getting up very early. I'm usually up between 5:30 in the morning. I'm at the gym very early to get that out of the way because I like to do that when my energy is at its peak in the morning. And then throughout the day, it's a lot of times I am answering emails. I'm having meetings with various people. Certain days, I still have a band, my band Gutter Candy. So there's we rehearse regularly. So I'm rehearsing, or I'm talking, or I'm learning songs or writing new songs. So I'm always kind of doing something. I also have a cigar company, American Rebel Cigars. So I'm trying to grow that. So I'm always kind of doing something. While it might not be manual labor, which I do plenty of that too, because I have a decent size property out here in Southern California, and that constantly, needs my attention. On the rare day where I just have a day off, it's like maybe my son and I will go to the park and, let him practice hitting some baseballs. I'll get to come home and enjoy a cigar out by my pool and relax and, listen. One constant is there's always music on. There's always rock and roll playing. So, yeah, that's basically it. It really just depends on if you catch me on a weekend where I have nothing to do, which is rare, or another day I'm just doing some type of busy work.
Who are the last like three bands or artists you listen to?
I mean, again, I'm constantly listening to music. It's usually rock or classic rock.
Yeah.
A band I'm really interested in right now is a band that's actually doing my new ring music, and that's a band called Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. Phil Campbell was Motorhead's guitarist for the last 20, 25 years. They're an amazing band. I really, really plead with anyone that's a fan of hard rock to check them out. They're really good. I'm listening right now to a lot. I'm going through a Godsmack kind of phase. I really like, I just watched the documentary on Soli Erna, and that got me kind of reinvigorated in Godsmack. I kind of forgot how much I really like that band. And of course, Metallica is my main band. I'm always listening to them, but I love classic rock. I just went and picked up some, an old, some, I collect vinyl. I picked up a, AC/DC record. I picked up a Dr. Hook record, a Neil Young. So, anything rock, classic rock, modern metal, I'm all about it.
Amazing. Final question for you, Frankie. Over the past like 25 plus years career in your professional wrestling and TNA whatnot, what's become like easier for you as the years become on or has come on as like muscle memory almost? Is it like a move you do in the ring? Is this how you perform in general? Like what's become like easier for you over these past 25 plus years?
I think the mental aspect of it, like wrestling came. I was a good athlete, and wrestling, like the moves came naturally to me, like learning them, going back to my first day in Killer Kowalski's school. But that's you would think that's a huge part of it, but it really isn't. The mental aspect of this game is so much more important, and like that is just comes so much more naturally than it used to. Knowing why to do stuff, where to do it, when to do it, how to do it, like uh, you know, that's one of those things that doesn't happen overnight. Very few guys pick that side of up as quickly as like there's only a few Kurt Angles and Brock Lesnar's and guys like that kind of got the entire package. But for me, the mental aspect of this, I think I really got a good grasp on it now, and that wasn't necessarily the case with my first 5-10 years in the business, but 25, almost 26 years in, I've really grasped the concept of what we are as an entertainment entity.
Thank you so much. You've been very generous with your time. Where can they find you on social media if they're not already following you?
Twitter and Instagram is where I'm most active. Frankie Kazarian on Twitter. Instagram is Frankie Kazarian _official. I talk a lot about music, post a lot of pictures of music, me at shows, talk about my band, Gutter Candy, cigar stuff, all types of stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty active on both of those.
Amazing. Frankie, thank you so much for your time. Guys, my name is Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory and Rap.
Dollar, dollar, I'm a Pioneer City baby. Nana tried to save me, but I go where they pay me. Yeah, the flow is wavy, deeper than the Navy. And the bass kicking like a D-boy in the 80s.